Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Quit Acting Stupid. I'm your host, Jamie Paredes, and joining me as always are my brothers, Rudy and Bobby. Say hello, fellas.
Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Um, we have another guest today. But
Hold on.
first,
Before
I
we get
think
to the guest,
Bobby wants
I got
to
to
talk to you
remember.
about.
I got to remind you, everyone, that we are
Yeah,
brought to you by the Farmhouse at Third and Delaware in the historic River Market area. Farm to table fresh for the best brunch in Kansas City, and that's not just me saying that. That's actually, I think, the pitch said that. Go down and see Chef Vince, who frequent listeners of our show will know that we had our cousin Vince Paredes on a couple of episodes ago. So go see Vince down there. Tell him to quit acting stupid. See what he
and
says.
don't forget to like and subscribe and follow and all that
Rate
stuff. We need to do a better
review.
good job. Yeah, rate,
Yeah,
review, all that stuff. I think we
yeah.
need to do a better job of for the people on Spotify to actually describe what we're doing. Because I think last week we had a lot of video and pictures and stuff. And
Right.
so if you were listening on Spotify, I apologize. And
For that one person that was doing that.
That might have been me. I tried to give it a listen on Spotify once just to see what that sounds like. So
yeah, apparently young people don't really do Spotify. It's all YouTube. I don't know, but
probably.
Well, we have a young person to ask.
yes. Hey, good segue. That was good.
Boom.
I see him in our the green room right now drinking a beer. So put that down. And joining us is my son, my firstborn son, Quentin Paredes. Quentin, say hello.
Hello.
Quentin Manuel, welcome to the show. You've been
Yay!
wanting to do this show for a while now with us, haven't you?
It's such an honor. I think I think you guys wanted me to do it more than I wanted to, but
I feel
Okay.
like
Oh, right,
the
right.
the views were dropping, so you had to call in reinforcement. I get it.
actually last week was our second highest viewed episode of all time. So you got big shoes to fill there, buddy.
Yeah.
No pressure. Just don't screw up our listener, our subscribers, our viewers.
This will be
I
Yes.
got it.
the biggest
Oh my
drop off.
Yeah. So and so Quentin is the I guess you're the second oldest Paredes grandson. Um
Yes.
and so yeah, you are I guess the next generation. Um yeah, back yeah, what you're 22, you're going to be 22 this month in a couple weeks.
Not
Uh
this weekend, but next weekend. The
yes, yes.
16th.
So and
22.
yeah,
Yep.
cheers. Yes. And you are working as an electrician now.
Yep.
Apprentice. Let's not hold on. Slow down. He hasn't graduated yet. He's still got a
Not
long
yet.
way to go.
That sounds like some Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You're an apprentice, you dork.
Yes, and with all the stories that you tell me about stuff going on at work, I kind of fear for you a little bit. About the
I
how many
fear for
times you've been
myself.
electrocuted now, and
That was gonna be my question. How many times now have you been electrocuted? Wait, hold on. Let's back up. How long have you been working as an apprentice, as an electrical apprentice?
Almost 3 years.
And now, how many times have you gotten shocked in those 3 years?
Twice.
Okay, so when we say shock, like boom, shocked, but have you been electrocuted like a couple times? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
No. It's
no.
only been like
like
it doesn't really hurt. It just like scares the crap out of you. It's just like a little buzz feeling.
I'm thinking like Marv and Home Alone 2 when they're in New York. Remember Marv?
No,
so could you see your bones through like an X-ray like in the
that's what I was gonna
cartoons?
say.
Like
No, I couldn't see my bones or anything.
Hair stands up,
Hair stick up. Yeah.
just your skeleton.
I hope I'm not dating
dude, we
myself.
joke.
I'm thinking about
Go ahead.
Ghostbusters, the opening scene of Ghostbusters when the guy's getting all the wrong answers or getting them all right, and then he's getting shocked anyway.
I thought you were giving me electric shocks.
Yeah, I don't think Quentin's ever even seen Ghostbusters, have you?
Right.
that's
No,
how.
I've seen it, but it's been plenty of years, so I don't remember it.
Gotcha.
Where that's
Yeah,
going to be a
no,
whole
we joke.
segment in and of itself. Is just all the movies he hasn't seen.
Yeah, I don't get any of your
Yeah.
guys' movie quotes.
Oh man. Oh,
So
boy.
you pretty much work all over the city. I mean, you've worked in random abandoned hospitals, and you were
Yeah.
out at the prison. Was it Leavenworth that you were out not too long ago?
I was in Leavenworth. The prison's in Cameron.
Okay,
Today I was in Sedalia.
Sedalia.
Jamie, I bet that's a big
Yeah.
sigh of relief knowing that he's on that side of the prison gate.
Yeah,
Well, no,
because
I'm in there with the prisoners. Like they're walking around me.
well, yeah,
Seriously?
and then tell them about the conversation that they had with you about making sure you didn't have anything sharp or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
What were they telling you guys?
You can't leave any screws or anything. You have to make sure you pick up after yourself because they'll make a shank out of anything. You can't leave your tools around. They said someone got stabbed in the neck with a paper clip, so
Wow.
that
Wow.
made me feel safe.
So this
Did
was
you-
prison.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
There's like a maximum security prison. Like there's literally murderers walking around me.
This is the one in Cameron.
Yeah.
you have your fingers in anybody's belt loops or anything? Like walking around? No.
I don't get it. No.
I think that's a prison. Yeah.
I love the deadpan. I don't get it.
Tell them about the what was that trick that they played on you, or that they were messing with you about body cavity searches?
Oh yeah, I was scared because they had me convinced I was gonna have to get like an anal cavity search and get like strip search, but no, I didn't have to do that, thankfully.
So yeah, he
Quentin's
showed up thinking
excited.
that he was going to have to drop trowel and have something
Yeah.
go up his butt.
Quentin
Yeah,
was
I had
like,
to get
"Ah, I can't
prepared
wait."
for that.
He's like,
I
I'm
didn't
here
do my
early,
homework.
guys. What took y'all so long?
He's there before the sun rises, before the rooster crows, before the cock crows. Quentin was there.
I had to get waxed and everything before.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, no, this weekend we spent a lot of time together. I think between the two birthday parties,
Birthday
and
parties
then
this
on our
weekend.
one off day from each other, we got together and had dinner.
That's right,
Scouting
yeah.
out scouting out mom and dad's 50th anniversary location.
Yeah, so I had the idea to get us all together to go check out a. Well, I guess they're not sponsoring us, so I won't say the name of the place. But we all got together and went to dinner Saturday night to go check out a place where we may hold our parents' 50th wedding anniversary party.
We can say the place, right?
Marina 27.
Thank you. All right.
Dude, it was
Okay.
we had a nice little table on the dock, and maybe we got there slightly too late because as I was walking to the table, the sun was setting. It was real beautiful for like 2 seconds, and then it just turned dark. So
Yeah, I was wondering how that would work if we'd still get some lights or something and be able to see the water, but no, we didn't.
yeah,
Like
no,
you said, we had it for
I
a
mean,
few minutes.
getting us. I mean, there was the four of us, couples there, and getting us into a somewhat classy environment was. Oh my god! Can you hear these stupid dogs?
no, what dogs?
Everybody can hear your stupid dogs.
Yeah, no, getting us in that kind of an environment was pretty entertaining in itself. I wish we would have had this thing recording while that was going on.
We talked about doing that, didn't we? When we were sitting at the table, we were like, we should just start hitting record right now. Although, yeah,
Just going over the menu, I think alone.
we can't be serious for any length of period of time, like 2 minutes at the most.
Oh,
We're gonna take a break while he. Never mind.
Oh,
I don't want to get PETA
destroy these
against me.
dogs.
let him bark. It's fine.
What was your favorite part? But don't ruin. What was your second favorite part? We'll get to your favorite part later in the show. What was your second favorite part, Quentin, of the dinner this weekend?
My second favorite
Did you have-
part.
Was your food any good? What'd you order? You had a
I had the
burger.
cheapest thing on the menu, which was a burger.
Well, that's
Boy, that's my boy.
that's not entirely true because this was when having a vegan girlfriend came in handy because she ordered the baked potato, $6, done.
Oh yeah, Bobby had lobster bisque and everything, and Kim just had a baked potato.
Sure, why everybody wanted to know at the end of the night, oh, how much was your bill? Everybody wanted to know. I was like,
Why did you get
business?
Why did you get 2 entrees?
No, what happened was I got my entree and then I wanted to try the lobster bisque, but Tomas, my son, joined us as well, and he got no. I'm sorry, I wanted to try the lobster mac and cheese, and so he ordered it, and I thought he was going to devour all of his, so therefore I wouldn't get to try the lobster mac and cheese. So I got me an order of it, and guess what I had for dinner tonight? It was filled with lobster too, so I have no problems paying whatever ridiculous price
Oh,
I
I
paid.
finished Crystal's seafood pasta just tonight, and I got bubble guts from that. I'm not gonna lie.
Churro. You got the churro.
Yeah,
The churro. Say it, Quentin. Roll that R.
churro.
God.
I can't
Well, no,
roll my R's.
my favorite part of the night is when we get the bill and he looks at it. And he's like, "Man, I don't know if it's the food that's gonna make me puke or the bill." So
It's like you guys want to go to nice restaurants, but then nobody wants to pay the prices.
we're all
Well, they-
comparing it. Like, what's the most you've ever paid at a restaurant? What's the most you've ever paid? Yeah, I think
The most I've ever paid, I went to homecoming, probably junior or senior year, with a group of people, and Pete Carullo, God rest his soul, R.I.P. Pete Carullo, he said, "Let's all go to Benton's." I don't know if you guys remember Benton's. It was the restaurant on top of the Westin Crown Center.
Yeah,
It didn't spin. That was Sky's. This was
guys.
right. So we went to Benton's, and we're like, yeah, sure. I didn't know anything. I was 16, 17 years old. So we went, and I remember going, and Pete knew one of the people there, so he got like a huge discount on his bill. Meanwhile, my date ordered lobster tail and something else. And I had a steak. It was over $100, and that, as a 17-year-old, blew my mind. I'm like, 100? What? Like, it was crazy. It was
Who was
crazy.
she?
Who was
your
my
date?
date?
What was his name?
Who was he?
What was his name?
Is that the same joke? Is that the same joke you just said, Quentin?
It was.
Yeah, like 2 idiots, both of them together. It was actually Miranda's mom, Lisa. So
Oh, okay. Well,
nothing
I guess
funny
you
there.
got something out of it, right?
You got a kid.
Next, never mind.
All right, moving along.
All right.
Yeah, everybody just, oh, well, what'd you pay? What'd you pay? I'm like, first off, it's none of your darn business, but yeah, it was a good meal. It was a good meal, so
No, it's a
I
good
didn't
time.
mind paying what I paid.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Lots of jokes were had between the time we ordered and then the hour that passed until the food actually came.
Hour
Oh
and
my
a
God,
half.
when that waitress put down the rolls, my God, you would have thought like they were a bunch of piranha or something. Just
We all looked like Cookie Monster, like, bah, 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 and there was like crumbs going everywhere. It was crazy.
I think I ate probably 4 rolls.
I think I was at
Easily.
3, sure. Yeah.
But
But I think that's the thing. They want you to wait and order more drinks and drink and drink, and then 30 minutes in, here's some bread to tease you. Although I noticed in the menu it said first course, second course, third. Like, they expect you to do all the courses, and we're like, no, we don't roll like that. We just give me that second course, and that's
Give me that
And then-
$20
and then-
cheeseburger.
exactly.
yeah, and
It
then
was-
like a bunch of Mexicans, we were all like in awe of the different butters that they brought out. Like it was a big thing.
You
Ooh,
people-
did you try the honey one? Did you try the blue blue blue? I'm like,
What's this one called? Senora, what is this one called?
I can't take you people
Excuse me?
anywhere. That was not my first time at a nice place. I go to business lunches all the time, and so I had
mira, Richie
Shit,
Rich.
shit.
Ooh, I go
I
to
had the butter with the sea salt on it before. And it
Hey,
was,
mira, Donald Trump.
I'm like, I don't know these people. Give me a waitress. Can I have another table? I don't need to associate with these folks. No, the funny thing was, it was like within 10 minutes of sitting down, we realized, this is not a place for our family to gather. It was a little
Yeah,
too
I don't
fancy
think.
for them. Us.
Yeah, I don't think mom and dad would be big fans of walking down that parking lot down to the. They should be freaked out about falling in.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the curvature of the lot. Yeah, mom wouldn't do that.
Yeah. And then we also had Vanessa's party. Our one of our she the second youngest niece, regular niece, not great nieces.
Second youngest
Yes,
niece. Yes.
our brother Andrew's daughter, Vanessa. She had her birthday party at a gymnastics place this weekend, and Quentin and Bobby showed up solo without kids, just basically for cake.
I was there for my niece and the cake.
You were there for
I
cake.
don't know why Quentin was there.
Who's the youngest
I was
niece?
there to see my family.
Oh
Hold on,
no,
who's-
okay.
We said 2nd youngest grandchild, I guess.
Yeah,
or second-
she is the youngest niece. Yeah, my bad.
Because
she's
son.
the youngest.
Yeah. Okay. Just clearing it
Yeah,
up.
we were thinking of her and Nathan. They're the youngest two of our nieces and nephews. Yes, Andrew's kids. But
So yeah, we jumping in balls of pits and and jumping on trampolines.
balls. Yes.
And Bobby and Quentin were following other children around.
I was jumping in the pit of balls with my niece, and I was with all the kids, and then Quentin seems to think that I was like a weirdo because I was there with no kids.
I'm sure 100%.
50-year-old man with no kids, just at a children's birthday party.
I was there for my niece, and in parentheses, and the cake.
Terrible.
Good cake. It's good cake.
Yeah, and then we had the grand finale of Alicia's birthday party on Sunday with
Mr. Withers, what was his name?
the Bubble Guy or something.
Dan the Bubble Man.
Was it Dan the Bubble Man?
That's what his shirt said.
He just pulls up in his PT Cruiser or whatever it was and busts out these bubbles.
Bubbles. So you got to picture this, and surely somebody's got some videos somewhere that we'll have to show on the social media. But he's got bubbles coming out of his trunk as he's slowly driving up into your driveway, and he's got like music coming. So it was wild. It's like a mobile DJ, but with bubbles coming out the back of the hatchback or whatever it was that he was driving. It was like a small SUV.
Jamie, do you like to blow bubbles?
Bubbles the chimp. I know where you're going with that. Yeah,
I did too. We're one step ahead of you. We know where you're going.
Michael Jackson once had a chimpanzee named Bubbles.
Yeah, so I didn't really get the joke. I was just laughing to.
Okay.
Well, we're trying to.
Part of it.
Your dad was trying to explain it to you. Michael Jackson had a chimp named Bubbles.
Okay.
The punchline of the joke was Michael Jackson likes to blow bubbles.
I get it.
Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson
was a world-renowned artist.
I know Michael Jackson is.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't know how far we had to go back for you.
No.
So I was about to do a tasteless joke, and I thought otherwise about doing that.
Shocking. Yeah.
No, I'll do it anyway. So this goes back to Quentin giving me crap. What do Michael Jackson and JCPenney have in common? Both have little kids' pants half off.
Just don't. We're okay. That's awful. We are officially
start over. Cut it.
You're gonna lose your sponsorship.
Yeah, I know. And you say that with the farmhouse right there in your box.
No, not anymore. Can you guys see the Bubble Man right here? Yeah. So this guy, let's see if I can forward this a little bit. There we go. Look at those bubbles. These kids went crazy. There's Bobby. Look at him with a beer in his hand that I'm sure he drank 2 sips of and let get warm. Look at this.
I realized my niece wasn't able to get into the bubbles, so I said, no, got to put the beer down, and we got to make sure Alicia gets to run through the bubble.
Hey, Quentin.
Yeah.
There's a child predator right there.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good turnout. I mean, imagine all these people were in my house, and it was stifling. But no, it was a good time. Again, I think this was like the end of our family marathon.
Birthday party weekend.
Yeah. So we spend kind of a creepy amount of time together. I think as a family. I don't know. I don't know, Quentin. You've always kind of just grown up.
Join the
around this.
bubbles, Cora.
I don't know if. Yeah. Let's see. That was enough.
There you go.
That was enough home video.
You get the sense that there's Dan. You saw Dan the Bubble Man. I think you understand.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
You
So
actually got bubbles. Did you get the
What's that?
opportunity? Did you have the opportunity to get inside one of the bubbles?
no, I didn't. No, the wind was so crazy that the bubble thing really. Yeah, it was kind of touch and go there. But yeah.
Quentin, did your dad do anything? Are there any parties you remember growing up that had anything even comparable to the Bubble Man?
Nothing as cool as the Bubble Man. I had a few at the bowling alley. I went paintballing one time.
Okay.
Notice these are all post divorce,
Yeah.
which I wasn't a part of. So that's why he's saying they were cool.
Yeah, there was you had to cut him loose, and then I remember going to one of your parties at Benjamin's stable, and we had pony rides. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I don't
Yeah.
You don't remember they had like a cow, like a little like a fake cow, and it had like were they udders or what are they called?
Yeah, and you guys
Is that their
had
little
a
wiener things?
Did you just
Whose idea was that?
Did you just say wiener things?
Yeah. They had like I don't know if it was real milk or if it was just like fake stuff that you had contests and you had to fill the bucket first and
I remember that.
you do remember that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, whose
Dude,
idea
we had
was
a
it
party
to have
back
it
then.
there?
Probably
that?
James.
He wants to
Was
know
that
whose
your
idea it
idea?
was.
Oh no, you think I would go out and like spend all that money on an actual birthday party when you could just have it at McDonald's or Godfather's Pizza like back in the day?
Yeah, my birthday parties every year were at McDonald's on 24 Highway right there in Independence. You guys had yours at Godfather's.
Godfather's Pizza. You get to go back there and make your own pizza, and then you'd stick it in the oven. That was pretty cool.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
All birthday parties when we were younger, they all had video games, right? I mean, you either had to do it at an arcade or someplace like a pizza place where there were video games.
My McDonald's birthday parties didn't have video games. They had McDonald's, and they had orange drink, and then they had the little merry-go, like the 3-seater merry-go-round inside, and then they had the playland outside with like Mayor McCheese, like a yeah. So that's we didn't have video games. Quentin, what are you looking at me crazy for?
Mayor McCheese. Who the hell is that?
You know who Mayor McCheese is? Do you know who Grimace is?
I know Grimace.
Do you know the Hamburglar?
Yeah.
You know the Fry Guys?
No.
No.
Mm.
And then there was Mayor McCheese, ran the whole town. What was the little birdie person's name? The little female birdie? Remember that?
Birdie? Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be sad if it was. We should Google that. I'm gonna Google it. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, you know what? Well, now you were talking about that, and it reminded me of the other place we'd have birthday parties was Showbiz Pizza Place. Before it was Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz, and then they had the whole band up there. What was the gorilla's name? Rock E.
No.
No.
Hey, the McDonald's bird. Her name was Birdie, the early bird. So I think you were right, but I think they brought her on for maybe like their breakfast when they started having breakfast.
Yeah, we got a breakfast menu. What we need a character to promote it?
She's a
How
bird.
about Birdie the early bird.
Yeah. So but no, what were you just saying? Oh yeah, the
Showbiz.
The
Showbiz. What was
Rockafire band. Wouldn't it like the Rockafire band?
yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
And there was
just real quick, they had a thing on last week tonight. John Oliver's last week tonight, a thing about Showbiz Pizza and how it came to be, and Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah, the whole deal. Like he went on like
what was that? I try to keep up with those. I think I try to keep up on those.
It was one of their like when they're on hiatus, they do like a like internet like where they just put it on like YouTube or something, and it's like a 20-minute deal. It was pretty good.
Do you know what we're talking about? Showbiz Pizza Place, Quentin? Does that no?
Nah.
It's
So
where
there
Chuck E. Cheese used to be.
Well, think of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's where it came from. It's the animatronics on stage, and there was a little spider that would come down from the ceiling holding a cupcake for your birthday, and they'd sing "Happy Birthday" to you. And
It's basically Chuck E. Cheese.
This was the 80s.
They were. What's that?
This was the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, son.
1980s.
Yes, you act like that was that long ago. But,
That was 40 years ago.
Anyway,
Thanks, jerk, for reminding us.
You jerk.
I just had this conversation tonight because so I don't know when it happened, very recently, but the number one station in my car now is basically Oldies 95. Like, it's not called Oldies 95 anymore, but it's 94.9, and it used to be.
You remember what used to be Oldies 95, and now they're playing our music.
So, like, in the late 90s, early 2000s, on like Memorial Day weekend, and they do a 80s weekend, and we'd listen to it all weekend long because it was awesome. That's the station all the time. It's amazing. I don't know why I haven't been listening to it sooner, because these kids these days, their music is terrible. So,
God, I'll tell you why you don't listen to it more often is because if you listen to it long enough, they repeat the same songs over and over. But anyway,
well, when we drive down, when we go on road trips, Quentin was the last one we went on when we went to Chicago. This guy, when he puts on his playlist, oh my God!
What's on his playlist? Remind me.
Let's go. What's number one on your playlist?
Is it Lil Uzi Vert? Is that what it is? That's the one that just sticks in my head.
Manny likes.
That was when I was like in high school. I listened to a lot of like 90s rock now. I don't listen to.
He listens to all stuff I recognize.
Like Twisted Sister?
I don't know that is.
I guess that's more 80s.
It was funny because Dad, he took me to my procedure the other day when I got my epidural. And he was commenting because I put on my Mexican music playlist, and he's like, "Yeah, I was surprised when Quentin, when he picked me up for the Super Bowl, he was playing this stuff too." And Crystal was right next to him, bumping along to it. And
you like your Tejano? You like your Tejano, huh?
Yeah.
Celito Lindo.
I'm gonna go ahead and take credit for that. I think it was my imparting that on him as a young boy, a young lad. That it's one of the few things he did get from me.
But he can't roll his R's.
No.
Yeah.
But he's a fan of the Dodgers. Los
Dodgers. Look at them. Yeah.
How did you since we live so close to LA, how did you become a fan of Los Dodgers?
Because they're good.
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
also like the Cowboys and the Lakers. Those are all your favorite teams.
For a while there was only. Go ahead.
I like the Cowboys because I like the city of Dallas. They have good barbecue. So
wrong. That's the wrong answer.
They have better barbecue. I hate to say it. But
oh my God! Get him.
To say it.
Get this guy off exit stage
it's
left.
Better.
Terrible. They have no sauce down there at all to speak.
Did
of.
he just say
sauce?
It's the driest.
I will say their sauce is awful, but the
Terry Black's brisket, fine. They have no sides to speak of at all. No sides.
Yeah, their sides are garbage, but the main thing, the meat, is better.
He's a good judge of meat.
Would you say it's the best meat you've ever had?
Yes.
See, he had to think about it because he's had a lot of meat.
All right.
Bring it back.
Quit acting
stupid.
So yeah, no, he's been a fan of anybody who LeBron played for. So it was the Heat for a while.
He had his Cavs jersey.
It was he had a LeBron Cavs. So it was basically
I did notice when the Cowboys made their yearly exit from the playoffs in the first round that you immediately had your Chief stuff on. I'm not cool with that.
We don't want you in the kingdom, Quentin.
Oh Lord, the kingdom.
You're allowed one backup team.
A backup
and the
team.
Chiefs are your backup team.
I will stand behind that. No, the Cowboys are my backup team, but Chiefs
Hey, he's
wins
got the
until I
chop to
die.
prove it. He's a true Chiefs fan.
He does have that chop down, boy.
I gotta say, that's some of my favorite times is watching Chiefs games when we're acting stupid like that.
Do not watch a game if you really want to pay attention to the game with us because we won't let you.
I had a great time
Yeah,
at training camp. We were acting
oh
stupid.
my god,
That was
we
fun.
were so embarrassing.
Quentin
It
was
was-
coming up with puns for the Chiefs players that all, I don't know how we got on the cat thing, but they all had
They were-
Patrick
Oh, I
Meow
do.
Holmes.
Do you remember Rudy? I think you do.
How do we get to the
We can't
cats?
say it here. You
Oh,
remember why we were
shoot.
talking about the cat puns?
Were you guys talking about my girlfriend?
Because there was something about a cat. Anyway, well, but yeah, so we were going
Oh,
through
no,
cat puns.
Yeah, we were. I think. Yeah, I remember seeing something about Patrick Mahomes or something, and on Facebook. I don't know if it was on Kim's page or if it was just somewhere, but it. Yeah, and we just started talking about.
These people were looking at us like, get the hell out of here. Who?
We're all rolling. None of us are paying attention to practice. We're there in St. Joe at the practice, and we're just cracking each other up.
We literally rolled. We filled my minivan with Mexicans and drove up to St. Joe. And of course, we used Dad's handicap parking, or we might even have used Alicia's handicap tag, so we could park up close.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
for,
then-
for
Mexicans,
good
but we were
reason.
all.
Dad,
It was
Dad's
all
a cripple.
Paredes men.
Yeah,
Paredes men.
Yeah, Manny was late, so we were waiting on him. And then
Right. It was late.
and Bobby and Tomas had a little meal pack for him on the way there. What was that? What did you have packed for you? That stunk up the
It was
entire.
the quiche, the egg quiche.
I don't remember what it was, but that's
Quiche.
called having a good wife.
It was quiche.
Was it quiche? Is that what we had?
Yeah, you know they serve food there.
I don't want their
No,
food.
they
I want my quiche.
did they?
I'm sure they had a hot dog there if you wanted one. But quiche and eating it in the van, it was disgusting. I don't know what was in that quiche, but
Usually you take like fruit or something like as a snack. I've never heard of quiche.
Hey, it was our breakfast. We left early, and that way we didn't have to buy anything. So there you go. And I have a wife, and Tomas has a mom that cares for us, and she packed us a little lunch, a little breakfast to go.
Oh,
lame. Lame-o.
Here's jelly.
Quentin,
Yeah.
you are fitting in a little too seamlessly into like how we do things. Like just like with a sense
Well,
of humor. Or,
this podcast is exactly what we do on Sundays. So it's
Exactly.
the exact same conversation.
Right, and we had been talking about for years, like, we should record this. Like, sometimes it's funny. I feel like it's maybe, I don't know if it's just funny to us or, most people think we're idiots. But
Oh,
I am starting to get a little bit of feedback that's making me think, hey, maybe we're okay. Like, I've had a couple different people be like, hey, you might have something. And I'm like, really? Probably not. But
We're not okay. Do you know the number of times and the number of topics we've talked about on Sundays where we're just like, oh God, thank God there isn't a microphone in this room right now.
well, sure. I'm just talking in general about podcasting. I think this is kind of working. Like, if I knew how to promote anything and if I wanted to put some money behind it, maybe we could like I could have promoted that last episode, $30, $50 towards it and put it in front of more people. But I don't know. Is that what we want to do? This is kind of just us having fun. Like I said, if nobody watches, if 0 people watch or 1,000 people watch, I enjoy doing this once a week. So,
well, yeah. I mean,
We
like I said, I'm doing it in case I get hit by a bus tomorrow. My girls will have something to remember me by. They could at least like, oh yeah, my dad was an idiot. He was.
My dad was a clown.
Yeah.
You told
I mean, that's kind of,
off-color jokes.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, I should probably do a better job of editing, but
the first one of us to die, they need to play some of these episodes at their funeral. I think.
Who's gonna be the first one?
it should be on loop, like on a loop.
Yeah.
Who do you think, Quentin? Who do you think is going to be the first one to kick the bucket, knowing that I'm the oldest? Which one? You don't even know who you're pointing at.
We can't.
Ruby?
Rudy.
Definitely Rudy.
Uncle Rudy, huh?
Thank you.
Rudy.
And what will I die from, Quentin?
Some
Something
sort of
food related.
heart condition.
Because it's clogged with fat. Well, I'll have you guys know that the reason I was running a little behind today, Quentin, get ready for this. I went to a yoga class tonight.
Maybe I should change. Maybe I should change Quentin's tagline to Rudy's.
Because you know why? Because he likes doing that downward dog.
I made a downward dog. No, guys. I mean, you're
So
getting.
did they have to help you up?
What's that?
Did they have to help you up off the ground from your downward dog? Could you
So
get
you
up on
have
your
to-
own, or did you have to like
stretch your
roll to
fat.
one side?
Keep them coming. Get them all out. Get them all out. Come on.
That's your fat. Is that what you said?
That was
Body shaming will not be tolerated here, Quentin.
Quentin. That was off-putting.
Pudding.
Pudding.
You should be off-putting. Yeah. Anyways, that was stolen from what's the girl's name? Jennifer. Who's the actress? Anyways, it was on Between Two Ferns. It was funny. Anyway, yeah, I went to yoga. Friend of mine.
Tell us about yoga.
Yoga was awesome. I'm very happy Kim decided to go with me because otherwise I would have looked like a complete creep there. There was one other dude, thank God, he came at the end, but it was all females. So
you'd have something to look at.
I was in the front row, but I was there for stretching and bettering my mobility. I've actually been kind of trying to start doing it here in my living room a little bit. I've done it, there's videos on YouTube and stuff, but Thrive Yoga, shout out to Thrive Yoga, my friend Maya. She holds classes every once in a while. Follow them on Instagram or whatever. Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was in a really cool space downtown in the Crossroads. And yeah, man, an hour of
they need
stretch.
to level that place out. Make room for the Royals.
This place will still survive after the Royals Stadium's built. So,
Okay.
And it's not her yoga studio. She just rented the space. It's a rental space. But no, it was good. It was when I left the class, we were on the third floor and I had to walk down some steps and my legs were like shaking. And yeah, so who knows? We'll see how I feel tomorrow. But yeah, I was doing yoga and I knew if I brought that up, that'd give you guys some opportunities to take some shots.
I have to find out, were you wearing yoga pants? Please tell me you were wearing yoga pants. Are you wearing spandex?
A one piece?
One piece.
What's a one piece yoga?
A leotard?
Like a singlet for wrestling.
Yeah, like think of AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. Quentin, step back here. I don't know if you know AC Slater.
No.
When he there's one scene where he ripped off his pants and he was in a singlet and he started dancing.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was
I
in
can
a
see how
singlet.
that's stuck in your mind.
Yeah, that was my favorite episode. No, I had on what you're looking at now, minus the hat. So yeah, so is that all you guys got? You guys disappoint me. I thought you guys would make fun of me a lot more, but I literally brought it up just so you guys could make fun of me. And again, I had a great time. Maya taught a great class. So shout out again to Thrive Yoga. But yeah, man, you guys disappoint me.
Was that Kim's first time going to a yoga class too?
Yes, although she did mention, I think Cosmic Kids, which the name just made me laugh. She went, I think, when her daughter was younger, they went to a yoga. I think she said it was a yoga class called Cosmic Kids. That was just funny to me. But yeah, for the most part, as adults, it was our first time. Dude, you know what? I did better than I thought I would. So there you go. Kiss my girl.
Bar, though.
What's that?
I mean, where's the bar? What was the expectation that you weren't going to finish the class?
He didn't die.
That I would quit 30 minutes in and I couldn't do it. And yeah.
You know what I think of the Adam Sandler.
Immediately like pull my back and then have to go sit out in the back. Like, yeah. So Adam Sandler.
When you're talking about going down the stairs, I think of the Adam Sandler bit, Fatty McGee. But I like the stairs. They're fun.
Yeah. Quentin's just staring like, what is going on?
Google, hey, Quentin, when you get out of here, go Google Fatty McGee, Adam Sandler. You're in for a treat.
Actually, you What'd you say?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I probably won't.
No,
I'll
but
probably
you,
just go to bed because we're filming this at 9:30. Freaking weirdos.
Oh, Quentin still has a bedtime. 22 years old, and he still has a bedtime.
whoa, but
Yeah, go meet me.
I'm a hardworking man. I gotta get up at 4:30.
I'm a hard-working man. That's Brooks and
I don't
Dunn.
get that one either.
He's
Brooks and Dunn.
you should see him in his little hard hat and his little neon t-shirt, and it's got little sweat marks like he did something all like physical or
Oh,
something. He looks more like the construction worker in the YMCA group or not Village People.
I
That's kind of the hard hat.
I
He doesn't
bet
know
he
who the
looks
Village
like a
People are
little
either.
man.
He's a regular Bob the Builder.
He looks like it. Do you take your lunch pail to work every day
He's got to have a thermos.
with your thermos? You dork.
Nerd.
There's one day he came over and I had to hose off his clothes. He had so much mud on him. Where were you? You were in some sewer or something, weren't you, or something? And I had to.
I was in a tunnel underneath the building.
With rats.
Yeah. He had
There were
nothing
no
but
rats,
mud
but
on
there
him.
was a dead dog carcass.
Did you just climb over it, or what did you? Hey, somebody, there's a dead dog down here. Like, what did you do?
They put a tarp over it.
So then you
Oh,
just
that's
crawled
nice.
in.
Yeah.
Did it
Did
smell?
you, ever, did you ever get the dog out, or did you just leave it down there?
No, we just left it down there.
I wonder how it got there. What's the worst
Conditions.
place you've been for your
Yeah.
job? I mean, probably the prison, I would think, but
Probably that tunnel, actually.
the tunnel.
That tunnel was the worst.
And that was early on in your tenure.
That was my second week on the job. I'm army crawling through like peanut butter consistency mud and dead animals and spiders and
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not for me. That's not.
But then he got his paycheck, and he's like, nah, I'll keep doing it.
No, I wasn't making
Yeah.
that much at that time.
Yeah, you started off like bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you still got about 3 more years, 3.5,
Three, yeah.
until you become a journeyman, and that's when the big bucks come.
See, right now he's washing lettuce. Coming to America. Did you get that one? You're a Coming to America guy.
I did for a second, yeah.
He did. He's
I
lying.
just,
No.
I just sent you that Adam Sandler bit, so watch it.
Oh, I
Before.
saw.
Anywho,
So, I remember when Quentin was born, didn't he have like the big V on his forehead?
Yeah, the
What
shark
was that
bite.
from? Shark bite?
Or
Is
was
that what
stork, what was it called? A stork bite? Yeah, stork bite.
Stork bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it
I
was,
don't know how that.
it was a deformity. He's deformed.
Were you deformed?
Well, it's gone now. I don't have it anymore, but
Well, I would hope so. I mean, that was 21 years ago.
A lot of tanning. What was that from?
I don't know.
I don't know. He just had really thin skin. I don't know.
So let's ask a different. Let's go a different route here. I want to ask something else. How was your dad as a father? He's clearly
Yes.
promoting the fact that he's Quentin's daddy right there on his nameplate. See it? Quentin's daddy. So I don't need to ask you who's your daddy. I know who your daddy is. Now tell us, how was your daddy as a
You want a
as
little
father?
insight? Tell him about how I offered you the belt that I had that I used to spank you with. I was like, I still have it hanging in my closet. Would you like to take it home as a souvenir? Go ahead.
I'll
No,
take
go ahead
the
and answer
belt.
the question. What's that?
I'd like to have the belt. I'd be use it on my kids.
We got to break the
It
cycle.
can be passed down for generations.
You got to break the cycle of violence, Quentin. That's not funny.
I wouldn't call it. I think there's good and bad violence.
Your dad was bad.
No, I don't. Like, there's some kids that are like, "Oh, I got hit with the belt." Yeah, but I mean, it didn't. I think it did good for me. I'm glad I got hit with the belt.
Yeah.
Look at that. I think that was a backhanded compliment.
I'm pro hitting with the belt. Personally.
All right. You think that
So
it did its job. It
Yeah,
instilled a healthy. Remember, we talked about this like on episode 1, a healthy fear, right?
yeah,
yeah. I mean, you see kids running around the store and stuff. I'm like, they need to get hit with the belt.
No, you just put them on a
At
leash.
least,
You just put them on a leash, and then just drag them around with you. That's what you do nowadays.
they just
I'm
bring their
glad.
timeout chair with them, and wherever they go, and have them have them sit in the corner.
I did time out with Miranda for a little bit.
But
Did
that's
you?
interesting to hear him say that he actually thought that actually did some good. That
No,
he saw the benefit of it.
I don't resent that at all. No.
Yeah, because you knew
So
it was coming from a place of love, right? I mean, he was
Yeah.
trying to behavior modification, right?
Yeah.
sometimes it
That was
came from a
the joke.
place. Sometimes it came from a place of GD. Get your butt. Yeah,
Exasperation, yeah.
he was
Now,
not. He was not the easiest.
were you the
Um,
one referred to as Mr. Buns?
No.
No, that was your brother.
No, I was Cuddles.
I was Cuddles.
you should have made that your tagline.
Jamie,
Your,
change his name right now to Cuddles.
Cuddles. No,
Yes.
Cuddles. Oh my god.
so okay, go ahead. You didn't you didn't finish your answer to Uncle Bobby's question about what I was like as a dad.
Yeah, what was he like as
So
a dad?
why don't you tell them?
Elaborate, please.
I mean, I don't remember that much. I mean, like, I remember, like, going out in the backyard playing catch and stuff. I had fun time doing that. We would,
Throwing the ball over the fence, hitting the siding, breaking the siding. Yeah, I remember that too.
That was
yeah, I
later
just
on.
started, yeah. And then, sometimes we'd go find a field or something, hit some balls. I
Yeah,
mean,
because see,
I had a pretty good childhood.
we up until he was about 9. Well, because we lived under the same roof until he was. I think you were about 9 when we got divorced, and so
Yeah.
then we had to get. I kind of had to get creative with. Okay, I got these visits, once or twice a week, and then every other weekend. The stereotypical stuff, and so we would have to go find stuff to do, and so we were always looking for baseball fields, and so I had, we had a whole bunch of baseballs at the house, and we would just go after school and go find a field and go, I'd pitch to them and we just kill time doing that. And so, yeah, we did a lot of baseball. I'm wondering why you weren't any better than you were.
Why are you so terrible?
All that practice. Nothing.
But
No,
no,
I got a question because. Oh, go ahead.
no, go.
So
Just 'cause
I had another question here. I want to know what kind of a student you were because I remember your dad being exasperated, and that's the second time I've used that this episode. But just of homework not getting turned in or things in your backpack. I think I'm talking about the right kid, right, Jamie? I mean, it was
Oh, yeah.
him, right?
Oh, yeah.
So did you realize at the time? Did you just not like school, or what was like? Why did you have stuff that? Because you are a smart kid, and I was just trying to figure out why you didn't like apply yourself, or why you didn't do better in school.
I don't know. I can apply myself when things like interest me, I guess. School just never interests me, so like it was hard for me to pay attention, I guess.
You
Yeah,
never
you don't have.
you were never
Go ahead.
diagnosed with any learning disabilities, though, were you?
I think like ADD or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was kind of jumped on anything that, would explain anything he got medication for. So I
Oh,
think
yeah,
half the time he was on all these different medications and blah, blah,
I remember
blah.
that.
And yeah. Yeah.
So
So I
tell
don't
me,
think
how did you feel being on the medications? Like, I don't know what medications they were. Did you go on them? Did you go off of them? Did the doses go up? How did your body feel? Because I know one of my kids was on medication before, and I've heard stories from them about taking them on, taking them off, and So how was it for you? Was it a relief when you came off of them, or are you off of them? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't take it anymore, but like when I was in high school, I used to take like Adderall to help me like pay attention and stuff during school, and I mean it helped. It worked pretty well, but
because there is so Manny was like it was still elementary school, so it could have been 4th or 5th grade, but I remember having a meeting with one of his teachers, and they were like, well, we think he's a what's the word for it, like
Idiot.
Special needs.
We're having a serious moment there, and you had to go and ruin it.
They wanted him to be one of those students. It's like whatever student where the school gets money for them because they've got a learning disability. It's like a 504 student, or is that?
Yeah.
No, that's it.
See, Quentin knows 504 student. They were saying that Manny they wanted to test him. They had been watching him for a couple months, and they're like, and they had notes. Well, when the kids are all lined up in a straight line, Manny is just off to the side. And, when they're all doing circle time and he's on his back with his feet in the air or something, I don't know, weird stuff. But that was Manny. He was just, and to me, it's like, I'm not giving him medication to take his personality away.
Yeah.
But now, fast forward to like now, and I do wonder, like, had we made that decision to do stuff and maybe put him on a medication, would he have been a better student? He's still going to graduate on time. He still, has plans for after high school. But I do sometimes wonder, like, did we make the right decision by ignoring that and just blowing past it and letting him be him? Because I do remember for one of Manny's birthdays, we had a bunch of kids come over, and one of the moms came and was like, it was a sleepover. And one of the moms came with like a bag of pills and like, okay, he needs one of these before he goes to bed. And when he wakes up, he needs the green one. And I'm like, what? Like, no way. And sure enough, when that kid did take the pill, it was like a switch. It like turned him off. And I'm like, to me, I don't want to do that to my kids. I mean, people have their own decisions to make or whatever, own opinions. But I remember seeing that, and that really went into my decision. Like, I don't want to do that to my son. He is who he is. His grades were fine. It's not like he was failing, but what are grades in elementary school, honestly? But I don't know. So we decided not to do it. But I always wonder, though, had I done it, maybe he's an A student because the kid's smart, but kind of like you. I mean, but I just didn't know what you're.
When I was on it, there were like pros and cons to it. Like I could focus a lot more, but it would like get me really irritated. Like when someone would like get me off track or something. Like I was so focused on what I was doing, and like when someone would get me off track, I would get like really irritated. And so my friends were like, "Are you pissed off or something?" Like I was always so like irritated on everything. So
you got irritable pretty easily.
Yeah, I was gonna say easily like like people could easily upset you.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I wasn't like my normal joking self, so
right.
I'm glad I'm off it now.
What age were you when you stopped taking all medication?
It was probably right when I graduated high school, like 18, 19,
okay.
something
was like that. Was that your decision, or did parents come into it and say, let's stop this, or was it you?
No, it was mine and probably Crystal, my girlfriend. She was like, because like I was getting irritated all the time. She's like, I like you way better when you're not on that. So.
And you should said to leave. No. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
No, that is interesting, because the conversation we had for like the last 4 or 5 minutes is like not something we typically have. Like we were talking earlier on Sundays when we get together, we're joking around, we're hamming it up, we're ribbing each other. We're not.
I'm trying to be an interviewer here. I'm trying to be. You're
trying to be a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist.
This is a professional podcast here.
Yeah, I'm David Muir. Although he's not an interviewer, he's more of a personality.
There are tens of people listening.
This is good because right about that time, because that was when like the end of high school. Because I just remember in high school that the frustrating what you were referring to, Bob. There was several different parts. Like in high school, towards the end of it, like I would get calls, like the automated calls, and I've talked to you, Quentin, about it all the time. Like at least 3 or 4 times a week. Like, and it would just be, it was funny because I could imitate it. It was your son, and then it would be the Quentin Paredes. Quentin Paredes was absent from periods 1
hour Second
to
hour, third
3,
hour.
and I'm like, it's got to stop 4, and then it would stop. I'm like, oh, okay, so he missed all morning, and I'd call him that night and be like, what happened? I'm like, well, I couldn't get out, or I couldn't get a ride, or you because at that time you couldn't even get up from a with your phone alarm or whatever, like you could not wake up, which just surprises the hell out of me that you can get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work now. Like I would have never guessed that would be a possibility.
If
But
they would have paid him to go to school, he would have got up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Well,
then
there's no consequence really for me missing classes, like other than my grades, of course. But like, I didn't really get in any trouble for missing, so I'm like, I'm feeling tired. I don't really care to get up, really.
So this goes back to that whole belt thing, if there were consequences, if there was some punishment, you better darn well believe he was gonna, be on top of things.
yeah,
That's interesting.
that's the healthy fear. I mean, that's the healthy
Yeah.
fear that you were talking about. Like, because if I'm in the house with him, and that's the thing, that's the biggest thing that I think when divorces happen or whatever, everybody's like, oh, kids are resilient. They'll, no, they're not. It's,
Kids are
because they have to be, because they don't have a choice. You don't give them a choice. I mean, if Quentin had grown up, with a dad in the house, he, luckily, he doesn't, carry a gun with him, day to day, and all that kind of stuff. Now,
Yeah.
I did catch him sneaking out of his house one night on Life 360 on the app.
Cheese smack. Give us the cheese smack.
Yes. Yeah. Where was he going? What was he doing?
I don't.
You want to see his
No,
dealer?
let him tell us. Let's hear it from.
Yeah.
from his,
Where were you going? Yeah. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
I was just going to hang out with Crystal, and so I don't get how you
Crystal's
caught
a
me.
bad influence. Crystal's a bad influence. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, go.
But you caught me, but my mom was like sleeping on the living room couch right next to the garage door, and she didn't even hear the garage door open or anything. So I don't know how you caught me, but she didn't.
Yeah, here your dad is nowhere near you, and he was the one that busted you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that, and then one time I think I went to pick you up to start our weekend visit or something, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, pick me up at so and so's house." I went to get him, and he was acting funny. He got in the car and just didn't want to say too much, and then I think I was asking a bunch of questions. He just wasn't answering, and when you were like, pull over," and so we just pulled over. This was before we got going too far, and he opened the door and started puking out the passenger door. And I was like, "Is there something you want to tell me?" And it was the first time. I don't know.
A little bit of a
I don't know if it
stomach.
was the first time you got drunk, but it was the first time I thought you. Was it?
Yeah. This was right
Yeah.
before church too. I think we were on our way to church.
Bunch of amateurs. I've never vomited from being drunk from alcohol. Never in
We're
my
not
life.
drinking right.
But I have blacked out. I've completely blacked out. Woke up on the floor of somebody's kitchen, but I've never vomited, even that night.
Were your butt cheeks taped?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
Larry Lester. Anyway. No, my
well, yeah. No. So, I think that's the biggest thing that when you're divorced, and Rudy, you're going through this now, is the fact that you're like, for the first 9 years of Quentin's life, you're waking up every morning under the same roof, and now it's not. And that was the biggest adjustment. That was probably the worst part of the whole process.
Oh, the entire. I'll say that, and I think I even talked with another cousin of ours about this. But the worst part of the divorce is I go from having my kids 100% underneath my roof to like 50, 30, whatever. It's
that's
horrible.
more than what I had.
Yeah, I don't have 50. Most people get 50. I would think we started out at 50, and then things happened, and it lessened, and now, honestly, with the kids having jobs and school and boyfriends and girlfriends out where they live, they ain't coming over here. Like, I still have Macy every Wednesday, every other weekend. I get Macy as much as I can, but the other ones, they're busy working. They're busy hanging out with friends and stuff. So
yeah, to where I would tell people that, I don't really even consider myself a father. I feel like I'm more of a mentor. It was like, okay, I just got to be, take advantage of the time that I got,
right,
because I'm not doing fatherly things, waking up, making breakfast or, whatever. It's, I'm here for these couple days a week that I'm assigned. And I just have to be as positive. And like, there would be times when I pick you up, Quentin, I'm sure you remember, it'd be like, okay, what are we doing? We're going to go find a field. And I was like, no, it's Ash Wednesday. We need to go to church or something or whatever. And I would take you on our visits to church. And I knew you didn't like it, but it was like, I kind of have to do these things by example, because these are things that I'm hoping to pass down. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think what we heard him say, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think that's what he said, was maybe it wasn't so much the quantity of time you had with him, but the quality. I mean, he knew that when he got together, when he saw you, you guys were going to go play ball, or you were going to just hang out. So a lot of times, I think it's just important for dads just to be there. I mean, I think that was the example we had with ours. Our dad was there. I mean, he just was always there. I mean, I can't think of the one single, solitary piece of great advice that he ever gave us. I mean, man, a few words, but he was just always there. Just that presence, I think, is important for kids to have that male role model. And we talked about this a few weeks ago too, when there was the unfortunate, the horrible shooting over there at the Union Station. Is we don't know what the situation is, but we're hopeful that that there are fathers or men in those kids' lives, or whoever was involved with that. And so I think we're always big on the importance of dads, because sometimes we have to take a back seat sometimes.
Jamie, you talk a lot about, you were just talking about having the kids living under your own roof and stuff. And obviously the kids don't live under mine. And the older, like I said, I see the little one, but the older ones I don't see as much. But like, there was a time, I believe it was this past 4th of July, where, and maybe when we have Parker on or when we have Manny on, we can get more into this story, but the cop showed up at the door on July 5th and wanted to talk to Manny about a fire at the school that was started at a dumpster.
I remember that.
I remember this.
Yeah, like I want to know. I had nothing. I wasn't around. I didn't. They went to the mom's house, and so that would be interesting. But that stuff doesn't happen. Like I'm just a bystander, like you said. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just hearing stories from Parker and Manny about it. And it's stuff like that where I'm never going to – not that I'm so happy that happened. It wasn't him, by the way. I should just say that out loud. It wasn't him. But, yeah, I just missed out on that. I was like a complete bystander to the whole situation. It feels so weird. Even now, like, so Miranda's mom and we've become, ever since the grandbaby was born, we speak. It's not like she's someone that's in my life all the time. But, when –
You're cordial.
Yes, we're cordial. And the baby was being born, and we became Facebook friends. And I did the whole thing where I went to her Facebook page and just went through it. And it was like my daughter Miranda had a completely different life I had no idea about. Like, just pictures at different ages where it's like, this is my daughter, and I don't know where this picture was taken, when it was taken, why it was taken. Like, I don't know. 50% of her life I was completely gone for.
Right.
Yeah.
Through, it was weird. That was a weird experience.
Yeah. It's like a big black hole in the middle of his childhood, like Quentin, like your teenage years, your early teenage years and things like that were just like kind of gone. Like, because the big thing is like when kids start to drive, the parents are supposed to worry that their kids are on the, I had no idea when he was out driving. So I never had that. I never had that worry. I never worried about where he was because I didn't know where he was.
Yeah. Right. Like it wasn't your weekend, so his mom should be worried about him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. I feel that a lot.
But I mean, now I really appreciate the relationship we have now, just because, like I said, he's fitting in seamlessly with what we do, whether it's when we go, like when we went to the Cotton Bowl, it was just like, and I think now, I know Quentin, you've said before, you really like when we get together and go on family trips and stuff like that. I think this is part of the reason why. I mean,
and I will say that when the divorce happens, in my situation, it got rocky with one of my kids, but anybody that's going through it, just hold on. I mean, if they were raised right, which, you know, they come back around, like around 21, 22, they come back around. They're good people, and they'll realize, you know, what's going on. And yeah, so like Quentin's there now. Go ahead, Quentin.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad when I was a young teenager, like I didn't really want to come over like for our visits just because I'd rather stay home and play with my friends and stuff, like
Right.
on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And
I literally had. Go ahead.
looking back on it now, I don't know. I kind of feel bad about it, you know.
I had to buy a dog. I had to buy a dog for Parker to come over. Literally, no doubt. Parker was the one who just didn't come over as much, and yeah, we were out and she saw this puppy, and yeah, she could have asked me for anything at that time, anything to get you to come over more, and it worked for like a month or two, and then she kind of, you know, went back to. But she was also high school age, so she had friends, like you said. She wants to be with her friends, and I had been already with Miranda, knowing that when they start getting to high school, you're going to see less and less of them anyways. So I kind of had to deal with it. But yeah, that's literally why I have a dog right now, because I wanted Parker to come over.
He got to a point where he would sneak out his PS4 or whatever it was. You remember when you would do that? You would put it in a suitcase and you would sneak it out of your house to take it over to my house.
Like a little hidden compartment, like a little hidden zipper in my suitcase that I would have to shove the PlayStation into.
And it was that story that you're telling with Quentin and his PlayStation, that Manny was allowed to take his back and forth wherever he wanted. He just do it in a backpack. Yeah. That's what he does. Because I heard that story. I'm like, no, you don't need to be sneaking this stuff out. Yes, I bought it. It's your Xbox. Take it wherever you need to take it and play, you know. I don't want him sitting here with no video game. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you can take it back and forth.
Yeah, so I was glad when he would bring it over. Now, Emily might not have been so excited to hear him. Yeah. I mean, he would play it like right outside of our room, and he'd get all excited. She's like, "You gotta go say something to him. You gotta go." And I'm like,
we were living in the River Market, and Manny would play like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Literally had somebody come. He told me this the next morning. He's like, "Yeah, the neighbor came and knocked on the door." And I'm like, "Hey, how did you know it was the neighbor? Because you obviously didn't answer it at 2 a.m. Why are you answering the door?" He's like, "No, I answered it. She came over and knocked on the door and asked me to be quiet because they have a baby and it's 3 a.m." And I'm like, "Dude, first of all, don't ever open the door." But yeah, it's crazy.
Guys, these are good stories. I'm sure we could go on for hours, but I know we have a young man here that has to wake up in like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Are you late?
Before we leave, we can't leave without. We got to show the photo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got this courtesy of.
This will be
Crystal.
This will be our quit acting stupid for the week.
Look at that cheese! Oh my goodness! And the cheeks.
He's got the same haircut as his dad.
Same what?
The same haircut as his dad.
He laughs, but I think at some point you're gonna get one of these thinning.
I was gonna say, if we had more time, I'd ask you, how's it gonna feel when your hair looks the exact same as your dad's?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on.
It's getting there.
Is it thinning already?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting a little gray. So I didn't just pass on my crippling anxiety to him. But
we can get
also
this picture off the screen, by the way. Yeah.
He wants to get it down. No, leave it up there.
So is that going to be our quit acting stupid?
Yeah, he needs to get out of here.
Yeah,
that, or we can quickly talk about. You want to tell the story? Did anybody see it? The witness who witnessed it?
Which one?
The one from Saturday night at the restaurant.
Oh yeah, Rudy, you did.
She bumped into me first because I was sitting at the end of the table.
Okay, so this is our award winner for Quit Acting Stupid. The lady sitting right behind Rudy. Go ahead.
She's sitting behind me, and then she just I just felt my chair get bumped from the back, and I was like, that was weird. But then she got up, and as she walked past our table, which she went to the short side behind the girls and the window, and she slammed against the window, and she was just hammered. Basically, the story is she's hammered, and I heard the husband say, "Oh, she had a couple gummies and some, I don't know, something." I think, did he just put her in an Uber and send her home, because he came back to the table?
Unless he
That's what
threw
we all
her in the
speculated.
lake.
Yeah, I could have thrown her in the lake. That's true, but
He said like, didn't he say like, you're falling asleep at the table? Quit
yes,
embarrassing me.
he said, "You're embarrassing me. You're falling asleep at the table."
We may have been eavesdropping.
Yeah, a little bit. That was the entertainment for the night. They didn't have live music, so we had to go with this. But we'll throw her the Quit Acting Stupid award. But
Lady walking into the window thinking she was going into the restaurant. Yeah,
yeah, she was a little drunk. So
borracha.
borracha for
You
sure.
don't know what it means? Look it up.
All right.
All right.
Well, then we'll let Quentin go mimis. And Bobby, you want to take us out?
All right. For my nephew Cuddles, for my brother Rudy, and my brother Jamie, who's also Quentin's daddy, let me just say, Quit Acting Stupid.